Hey everybody, it's Jason here, and I am coming to you live from the Land Pavilion at Epcot in Orlando, Florida. And you're going to think, Jason, why are you giving us a quick hit from, the super capitalist Disney Corporation? But I figured we came down here to get away from some eco stuff and maybe do tourist stuff for real. And I was surprised with some of the things that Disney has set up for green and sustainable existence. It's actually pretty cool. So with me here is one of my best friends, Steve Gibson, from the Day of Steve Disney blog. You can find him on YouTube. Again, that's the Day of Steve.
Yes. You can find me on the YouTubes and everywhere else on at the Day of Steve.
The YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
Steve is, he moved to Orlando to pretty much live here at Disney. So we're sitting in the Land Pavilion. And in the Land Pavilion is where they have the ride, Live in the Land. Mm-hmm. And it's a set-up boat ride, but it talks about different ecosystems and what the different ecosystems on Earth are, mm-hmm. How they maintain each other and themselves, and it goes through a nice little area of how humans have ruined it. Through questionable farming, mass production, and the means to try to get more food for cheaper and faster. And it talks about how we have to fix that. The next part of the ride takes you through a USDA partnership with Disney where they grow. They're just working on different growing methods of different plants, trying to experiment how to get it done. Takes you all through their greenhouses. They have they do fish farming here. Yep. All of the fish that they serve, why not all the fish, but they said the majority of the fish that they serve comes from their fish farms. A lot of the vegetables they grow and serve here at Epcot and some of the other parks come from these experimental farms that they have going on. Yeah. And they're doing, hybrid things where they're hydroponics that are they're fed by fish. That they're and they have vertical growing and different types of splicing and things like that, mm-hmm. In an effort to make it better for everybody. A couple of the other things that I've noticed down here, the solar farms. Mm-hmm. Disney they have a lot of conservation. Yeah. The animal kingdom is based on conservation, and they have a lot of that. But their solar farms, they're all over the place, and these are big solar farms that power some of their things.
And you should definitely go onto Google Maps, where you can see the satellite view of things, and you can see the solar farms there. And there's
I'm sure one of them. Joe's going to throw that in on editing. Watch
an extra little treat there for Disney fans. One of their solar farms is in a shape of Mickey hat.
Oh, I wouldn't have noticed that because we've just been driving by them, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. One of the other things I noticed was on the buses, and I looked this up. Half of their buses, or not half of their buses, but all of their buses run on half biodiesel, mm-hmm. non-food waste biodiesel, and they're looking to expand that within the next few years. There are a lot of options in their stores for green and recycled clothing. Mm-hmm. There are, recycle bins all over the place. All of the cutlery that they provide in the rooms and the suites are biodegradable, even with food on them, mm-hmm. So you can just put them in a garden or whatever. Yeah. And these aren't things that I would think about coming down to Disney, because when I think Disney, I think, well, I'm dumping all of this money into this corporation. But they've got a very ethically diverse staff. Everybody's happy. Mm-hmm. I guess they're forced to be, or they get an injection or something. I don't know how that works.
It's pixie dust.
Pixie dust, yeah. Everybody's happy to be here, and they're really excited.
Some of the best customer service in the world you'll find at Disney World.
That is correct. And I always wasn't the biggest Disney fan, but we're down here. I'm down here this week with the family because we're going to be meeting up with Gwen from Simple Fandom later in the week and selling some LARP merchandise. So we figured we'd do the touristy thing.
LARP merchandise.
And see what this is about. But around every corner and every place that I've been, the resorts, the parks, on the buses, there's some sort of green initiative that they have going on that surprises me, and I'm tickled pink about. Their aquatic preservation here at Epcot is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So just something you don't think about is, hey, I want to take a week away from my regular work and take some time off of Solarpunk life because it's hotter than the Dickens and producing's a little tough right now. And then you come down here and boom, there's things that actually interest the Solarpunk. So if you can get down here, you should check these things out, and if not, you should look online and see exactly what green initiatives, a mega corporation like Disney has, because they are there, and you just don't see them all the time.
Yeah. And one of the things, Disney World itself is, I think, like 40 square miles or something like that. It's about the size of Manhattan. They have set a third of that aside for conservation purposes.
Not just Florida conservation, but, we have programs like they have in this pavilion.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see, the other side of a company that doesn't necessarily always have the greatest capitalist consumer reputation, actually doing things to make things more sustainable for everybody. Check Steve out. The Day of Steve. We'll put that on there.
Jemarc, and videos.
You know what? I'm gonna stop being an eco warrior for a little bit, and I'm gonna go enjoy the tourist thing. So let's start drinking around the world.
Cool.
So everybody, you know what we're gonna sign off with. This is Bowser signing off in Orlando. Everybody, do good.
Be good.
Thanks for watching.